Samesar Prabhuji give me that opportunity to speak. I'm feel like a not expert in the subject matter. I'm also learning like a very beginner. So please, Samesar Prabhuji, correct me wherever need to correction. I'm in the learning stage.
The screen sharing is gone, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, are you still there?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I thought I disconnected before.
Okay, yeah.
In my screen, everyone can see, right?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Bhagavad Gita 11.3. एवं एतद् यथात्वम् आत्मानं परमेश्वर दृष्टतम् इच्छामि ते रूपम् ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तम. Anyone want to go with sloka? Please feel free to go. One or two devotee.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Danat Pranam. Evam etad yatha tatvam.
Evam etad yatha tatvam.
Atmanam parameshvara.
Atmanam parameshvara.
Drishtum ichchami te rupam.
Drishtamekshami te rupam.
Aishwaram purushottama.
Aishwaram purushottama. Anyone more? So please.
Evam edadyadadatatvam
Evam etayatattvam.
Atmanam parameshvara
Atmanam parameshvara.
Drishtum ichchami derupam
Drishtamekshami te rupam.
Aishwaryam purushottama.
Aishwaryam purushottama. Synonymous. Evam thus. Etat this. Yatha as it is. Atha have spoken. Tvam you. Atmanam yourself. Parameshwara O Supreme Lord. Drishtam to see. Ichchami I wish. Te your. Rupam form. Aishwaram divine. Purushottama O best of personalities. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. O greatest of personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described before, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord said that because he entered into the material universe by his personal representation, the cosmic manifestation has been made possible and is going on. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he is inspired by the statement of Krishna, but in order to conceive others in the future who may think that Krishna is an ordinary person, Arjuna described to see him actually in his universal form, to see how he is acting from within the universe, although he is apart from it. Arjuna's addressing the Lord as Purushottama is also significant. Since the Lord is Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is present within Arjuna himself, Therefore, he knows the desire of Arjuna, and he can understand that Arjuna has no special desire to see him in his universal form. For Arjuna is completely satisfied to see him in his personal form of Krishna. But the Lord can understand also that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to conceive, to convince others. Arjuna did not have any personal desire for confirmation. Krishna also understands that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to set a criterion. For in the future, there would be so many impostors who would pose themselves as incarnation of God. The people, therefore, should be careful. One who claims to be Krishna should be prepared to show his universal form to confirm his claim to the people. Let's pray to Prabhupada so we can speak something about the subject matter in Guru Parampara and all Vaishnavas. Om Ajana Yajnana Tamirandakshaya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurvanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shapitam Yena Bhutale Swayamrupa Kadamaiham Dadati Yena Shapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Shagana Raghunatha Ventam Tam Shajivam Shavidvetam Shavadashtam Parijana Shahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Shri Lalita Shri Vishakha Ventam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanto Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rashavanusute Devi Pranamamami Hari Priya Vansha Kalpataro Bhayacha Kripa Sindhu Bhayo Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we see the purport here. The first to the shloka in the 11th chapter, when Arjun says that I am now fully convinced, and whatever you said, we see how the Krishna declared his supremacy. The boldly told to Arjun, tell to everybody, everything comes from me. At the end, everything goes inside me. So ultimately, I am the source of everything. So now, but we see now Arjun fully convinced. He has a no doubt because he was his Sakha and devotee. But see then why this question comes like what the need to show the Krishna this form. And Arjun why the having the desire to see this form. Though he fully satisfied with the Krishna and he knows that the original is the two-handed Syamasundara is in front of me. That is the original. Everything comes from him. But here we see how nicely Krishna declared himself, and we see how the Parasar Muni also declared the quality of the God, like Samesar Prabhu always says that, and just I want to go through that sloka, that Vishnu Purana. Aishwarasya samagrasya virasya yasyasya sriya jnana vairagyo chevo Shayanam Bhagam iti gana. Vishnu Puran 6.547. So here like Prabhupada writing, how one become God. God is not manufactured by both. There are definition who is God. God must be the proprietor of all the riches. Aishwarya Samagrasya. Samagrasya means nobody can compete with him. Here in this world, material world, I am rich man, and there is another rich man who can compete with him. There is another rich man who can complete with him, but nobody can complete with God in richness. That is one qualification of God. Nobody can say that I am richer than God. You can say I am richer than Ford or Rockefeller or this, that. You can say, but nobody can say I am richer than God. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Mata paratam nasya asta kanchit dhananjaya mata paratram nayat kanchit as dhananjaya. Bhagavad Gita 77. Dhananjaya is the name of Arjuna, and Krishna said that, my dear Arjun, there is nobody greater than me. So if anybody claim that he is God, he must prove by practical example that nobody is richer than him. That is the first. But unfortunately, we are accepting so many gods. A rascal in the street, he also claims that I am God. So this is the sloka how Parasar Muni nicely declared and established the supremacy, or who can be declared himself as a God. So we see here also Arjun having a same thought. He has a no doubt, but what he's asking, he's requesting, can you show me the form which you declared? Like everything comes from you, how you can show me this form? I want to see this form, how everything goes inside you, and how you entered in everything in cosmic manifestation. And we see that even Krishna also knows this. This is not urgent desire. He fully satisfied, but he's asking behalf of all us, because somebody come tomorrow and then declared himself the God. We see now so many Bhagavan people declare normally, I am this Bhagavan, that Bhagavan, and they are cheating the people. And in general, common people, they're just following them, and even the people also like that. They wanted to that kind of God because they want to get something very fast. Somebody, I'm reading the Prabhupada article, and Prabhupada say that some people look, okay, can I be richer in the 6 months? And they follow that kind of guru because cheaters are available if somebody want to be cheated. So the based on the desire that we will redirect it, or we goes to that direction. How is possible somebody can be have a like so much money 6 months or become a richer in sudden? That means that definitely the person desire to be cheated. So he will find that kind of person. Somebody will come and cheat. But here, that's where the Arjun giving the alarm to all of us, and we should thanks to Arjuna. He though without even doubting, but he's thinking here. Even we see the Prabhupada, the devotee, doesn't ask the questions to get benefit himself. He's asking the questions the others can benefit. We see the Parikshit Maharaj. He did not ask on benefit. He asked all the questions so others can get benefit. That is the mood of devotee or Vaishnava. Vaishnava doesn't look on benefit and then hide it and then go. No. Vaishnava, he looks others benefit always. Though he comes sometime in loss, sometime in trouble, sometime in problem. But that is the quality of the compassion of Vaishnava. And here we see how Krishna shows to Arjuna, even Arjuna addressing him as a Purushottama, means the highest, the supreme personality of Godhead. And though he fully satisfied, he understood, but Krishna shows him the Virat Rupa. So what the Virat Rupa? We see how the manifestation created like a Mahatattva, and then how Three Purusha avatar comes. like that Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, and Karnodaksha Vishnu. And from them, how the 24 elements comes, and these 24 elements, how the 25th element come as a the time, and 26th element come as a super soul. So Arjuna shows, watching all this, how Krishna entering one after other. But this form, Prabhupada said the devotee have a no desire, because this form is not the good for devotee. He is scared. And we see Arjuna also become scared. And he was starting crying in the following verses. We see that he was crying and he remembering his previous life, how he was playing with Krishna. And he said that I was used to sleep with you, I was playing with you, but what I did. And then he's crying, remembering his past time. So devotee doesn't want to see this form just to satisfy others, and so no one can cheat him. Krishna shows this form because he's become merciful. Even I remember some article Prabhupada when came in the Western, and these devotees following Prabhupada, and some of the devotees said, Prabhupada, can we declare you as a god? If some like the Bhagas Guru, he could say, okay, that's a good time to declare me. But Prabhupada answered, no, you should leave my movement. You and me cannot be God. God cannot be manufactured. Like just God is God day one. Krishna is God in the day one, like even just few months old and a few days. He killed the Putana, even without any weapon. How the somebody can do that? No. Even Krishna, I'm hearing the Lal Govinda Katha, he mentioned that Krishna never picked up any weapon except just for Vishnu Pitama. He killed all the demons just by just simple action, without any effort. He lifted the Govardhan 7 days, 7 nights, just that tiny finger, without any effort. That is called the totality of God. That's why Prabhupada says that no, you cannot declare me as a God. Otherwise, you can go and live my movement. But we see so many the bogus gurus nowadays are doing this act. Even in Vrindavan, so many the fake guru moving here and there, and they are cheating the local people. Even I remember that my mother told me this sister. Somebody came to begging the door to door, and they just watching in the day, and they saw that the lady is single in the home, and then he tried to like the robber, but somehow or other she escaped. She throws something, I think hot oil or something to on her eyes. That's why she escaped, because Krishna is helping to the Brajavasi somehow or other way. But see how the bogus guru is moving here and there, and the wearing the dress of the sannyasi. And the sannyasa means they have give up everything. But what they are looking in Vrindavan? The money. What kind of sannyasi those are moving there? So Prabhupada giving the alarm all of us. Be careful. That kind of the cheaters are there to cheat you. Even I'm hearing Prabhupada lecture. Prabhupada say that if I want to make the money, for Americans to give $1,000 or $100, not a big deal, because I can be manufacturing some formula, but I'm not came here to for this purpose. I came here to give them to the love of God ahead. So prema, through the prema, they can fully convince. Though time even we see in the Prabhupada movement, the Maharaj is not the ordinary background. Many Maharajas, even they're very rich person. If Prabhupada wanted to money, Prabhupada could get money from them. But that was not the Prabhupada desire. That is called the pure devotee. He looks the benefit to others. And what the Prabhupada mission? Send back to the all forgetful souls, or that who are separated from Krishna some or other, then send back to the home. That was his mission. Even Prabhupada writing many times small examples. If some child in the market is crying, and somebody come to him and giving the food, okay, take the food, and then still he's crying. Somebody came, okay, can I give you something chocolate? He took the chocolate, he's still crying. Then what the some came and he told, okay, let me give you your father. So he dropped him in his home. The kids stopped crying. So that's the Prabhupada moment. We all are crying kids, but we don't know how to reach our father. So Prabhupada teaching us, Krishna is a supreme father. Arjuna also proving them by the many examples, many scriptures, and as per that the acharyas. Krishna says that, Arjuna also saying that not only you, whatever you are saying, that Narad Muni and other acharya also declare the same thing, which you are saying me now. So we see that how the we belong to that parampara. Nobody claim like, oh, this is because of me, this is happening. No, we all say because of that our acharya and because of the parampara, all things is coming down. That's why the being Arjun, even friend of Krishna, he was giving the references of the best munis and saying that these also say same thing, whatever you are saying. But now I want to see this form. Can you show me this form? So Krishna knows that because Arjun not asking his benefit. In future, maybe somebody come and then cheat and then become the god or declared himself as a god. But the devotee can ask, our Guru Maharaj says that if somebody try to cheat you, and then you can request him, can you show me that, can you lift the Govardhan? No, they cannot do, they can go away. So that kind of cheaters, so many here and there. But how to protect? We should take the shelter of the scriptures, Prabhupada and the devotees. And through them only we can escape that kind of the bogus gurus. And we see so many the people even follow here and there. What they do? They frustrated and they give up because their desire either not completing or either something is happens because they went with the wrong the desire and they found wrong people and they stop. If you talk to them, they what even I during the book distribution, I met many kind of that kind of the future devotees. They say, no, I don't believe in this. We have so many the bogus gurus, they are cheating here and there. So that's true. Here, even Krishna accepting that. Krishna saying that it could be the imposters who would do that kind of act. See, the God knows that. Prabhupada writing, God knows that maybe the common somebody can manufacture himself or imposters. So that is the symptoms Krishna shows to Arjuna. I'm showing you this Brat Rupa so we can stop the future imposters. But for them, we should be the associated with the devotees, associated with the Prabhupada scriptures in a moment that only we can escape. Otherwise, any moment, any time, anyone can come into the clutches of these Maya. So this is the alarm for all of us. See how the Krishna is merciful. Just through the Arjun, we see the Krishna himself in the Virat Rupa also, because Arjun is the come in the parampara. He himself seen this form, so he explaining to us. So this is not the different whatever Arjun saw, we are experiencing same thing. But only we should be the faithful. That is called the first symptom of the bhakti, faithful. And through the faith, in the morning I'm reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 27 chapter and 5th verses, where Kapil Muni is saying to Mother Devuti, the first symptom is the faith. When faith is affirmed, then everything starts from there. Then Shravan and Kirtan. Shravan Kirtan cannot happen without faith. So the bhakti, the key is the faith. If faith is there, then we can make a progress in the bhakti. If doubt is there, then the doubtful, we should clear the doubt. And we should express our doubt in front of the senior devotees and then clear and then move ahead. We cannot live in the doubt and do the bhakti. That's not possible. So that's only I'm trying to, I think seven sometime we can give to for the question and answers, and some devotees here very senior, I can learn from them. And so I'm stopping that. Hare Krishna, and then from to all devotees. Please correct me if I say something wrong or which is not as per the scriptures. Mr. Prabhuji, or anyone have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to sharing their experience. A devotee here, or I'm speaking in disconnect mode.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhamat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Okay, I'm the right. I thought maybe I speaking in disconnect mode.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice class. And I was wondering if we can have some discussion on how Arjuna was Krishna's best friend and how Krishna revealed the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and absolute truth to him because he was his dear friend. And just wanted to get one clarity was how we can be his best friend and develop the love, and at the same time try to get away with envy, anartha.
Yeah, Mataji, like Prabhupada gave this the nice process for the Navada Bhakti, and all start from chanting. So if we do the sincere chanting, if Prabhupada say that even the Prabhupada disciples, our Guru Maharaj always say that chanting is the key. If our chanting is good, then this is the solution for all the problems. So if chanting is good through the Navada Bhakti, we can become, even though already we are the friend of Krishna, but somehow or other time separated. Because we came from him, he is our father. So even Arjun also, Krishna says that you are the devotee. How? Because he is hearing from Krishna direct with the faith. And the second thing he said, you are my Sakha. Why the Krishna is because the Sakha in the two aspect. One is the because he the relationship, and second thing the age wise also. But the most important, he become disciples. He surrendered, and he always like that with the scriptures. We see he was whatever even the Arjun asking the argument or questions based on the scriptures. So we should follow the chanting and Prabhupada that path. Then we all like get the same the rasa or the same that what we call that the bhakti, the feelings. But this is the covered by that as anarthas. Once anartha go away, we can come into the same that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember that even Prabhupada also used to say that like somebody have a that jaundice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the jaundice solution only the sugar can. But if somebody have the jaundice, he doesn't have the taste of sugar. For him, this is the bitter. But the solution only the sugar can for the jaundice. He has to be drink. So he just keep on drinking and drinking. Once it the jaundice, like that the asar come hota hai, then he is feeling that the real taste. Same thing we have all disease, anarthas. But the chanting is the key, like the sugar cane. Just be keep on chanting and chanting and chanting. Then our anarthas suppressing, and then we can see our real form.
Mm-hmm.
But chanting only the solace. Like it was jaundice, only sugar cane is the solace. No, there is no. It has to be drink.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the disease, it is not the patient doesn't feel the taste. So we all are the patient, the spiritual. The first thing we should accept it, yes, we are the patient. So we need the doctor, and we should take the medicine as per the doctor prescriptions. We should not manufacture our own process.
Mhm.
Otherwise, medicine will impact, but not as much as supposed to be. Either Master, you want to add something, or either good answer, Mataji, or you want
No,
to add something?
Prabhu, I just wanted to clarify one thing is that even though while practicing also, if for some reason something or the other, so are we trying to say that still all these elements of anarthas are present, it's because of inattentive chanting?
Even the anartha is already there. Our chanting also not perfect. We should, we should improve our the chanting quality. Like the first the quality, I remember that His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj said that always, when you chanting, just do the chanting. Your mind going here, there, just bring it back. But don't do multiple tasks or multiple things while you are chanting.
Mhm.
So we should practice slowly like that. And mind is so like the material and destructive. The moment we sit for chanting, we feel sleepy and mind goes here and there.
Mhm.
Because this is the even Arjun also admitting that. Chanchala Man Krishna. Very hard to bring back to the mind into the for bhakti. What Krishna says that abhyasi, abhyasi kaunte, abhyas is practice. So first we do the practice. Okay, while when I'm chanting, I will just do the chanting only. I will not do other thing.
Mhm.
And we should have some fixed time for chanting. I will do chanting this time to this time. We should not rush up the chanting, or we should not, just try to the complete number of rounds.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Amritanand Pro, you want to add something, please? So I also can learn something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisance, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu. That was very nice how you explained it. Yeah, so chanting is a big topic, main topic and big topic. But even though we cannot chant properly, the solution is to keep chanting. So keep chanting even perfectly. Slowly it will become perfect. Even if desire is not there, keep chanting. And things will fall in place.
Yeah, thank you so much. I was reading in news. I'm sorry, Amritanand Prabhu. Is it over or? Amritanand Prabhu, sorry. Yeah,
No, Prabhuji, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
I was reading a news about a yogi. He got recently the Padma Shri award. He got 126 years old. Swami Shivananda Swami Yogi, something like that. It was a big news in the Indian Parliament. This yogi came, and there was one interview with this yogi. I mean, not really a yogi, but yeah, kind of yogi, but at the same time, he's a nice person. And there was some interview was there, and I was just listening to that interview. He was telling that somebody asked this question, what is the secret? What is made you to go like this past 100 years? Even people are struggling to pass even 70, 80 years. And this 126 years old yogi, He is a very much very nicely speaks, and even I saw that a video. He goes down and he bend down and he nicely pay the obeisances, and he is 126 years old. So somebody asked, him that what is the secret? What is actually making and what is going like this? He said, I don't have any desire at all in my life. And he was giving an explanation. When there is a desire, then what happens? There is a need for everything. The body works accordingly, the mind works accordingly, the senses works accordingly. And then what happens from the mind and the desire and the senses? Then what happens? More demands and more demands and more demands, and then our mind won't be stable at all, and then it's looking for here and there and all those things. It was a very it touched me actually. He said I was practicing this in all my life, that I don't have any desire for anything in this world. Well, that was kind of a very high stage. So then he also controls his diet, and he eat only twice a day, and that's not too much and not too less. Very minimum what is good for the body. Breakfast and I think 6 or 7 o'clock there is a last meal. Then he also does the every day some exercise, yeah, especially yoga. He does that yoga, and he has a lot of disciples too, and people are attracted to this personality, and everybody is so interested to hear from him. What is the secret? He said, I keep my mind very happy, and he was saying that if you are looking for the desires and happiness here and there, then we will not be happy. But he was saying that I'm so happy because if I don't have any desire or I don't have any happiness looking outside of it, but that is within myself. And then I practice that. So he practiced in such a way that no disease come to his mind. It's a kind of a very high stage. That's what is exactly all our acharyas and many yogis. They all practice the same thing, and that's what is exactly we are also Krishna, the Supreme Lord, speaking to us that don't look here and there, just listen to me, and then go with the instructions which I am giving, and focus your mind. And by the practice, it's possible, and only that when we come to that stage, controls or overcome the mind. It's exactly the mantra means also. Manana Pranana Idya mantra. So with this process of Krishna consciousness should be very focused. Then only we can come to that state and come to that state of real, happiness and real consciousness of Krishna. So I thought of, sharing that with you. It was quite nice, very profound. I felt it.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing that realization. Just a thought came that there are so many jivas who are so well connected to higher supreme Lord and higher consciousness, and there are so many ways even God reciprocates to the devotees. So this example of this yogi who was 125 is exceptionally aligned with the
Have you heard
teachings.
about this yogi? Have you heard about this yogi? No.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
it was in a big news. Yeah, he got the Padma Shri award because of his. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there are so many devotees who are actually connected with Krishna, and Krishna reciprocates with everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Ravi.
Thank you so much. And I was hearing another, and there is a yogi who still lives in Himalaya. He got around 700 years old.
Wow.
700 years.
Mhm.
And I think the prediction actually next 150 years or something, he'll come out from the kind of that trance.
Mhm.
There are so many cases out there, so many examples out there. Is yeah.
So, Prabhu, we spoke about the state of desirelessness. So,
Yeah.
in that stage, are we saying that then we transcend the material modes of nature?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So this is
But
what it is actually. It is mentioned that there are stages. I mean, there are many stages of the mind. Many times it's mentioned that, right? One is Shipta, Vishipta, Mudha, Egagra, then Niruddha. So Niruddha is the state where we overcome the mind by practice. So that's it. When we overcome the mind, that's what it's become the transcendental. So that transcendental state we can see even everything. And even Narada Muni was instructing this to Dhruva Maharaj when Dhruva Maharaj, went to forest and wanted to meditate and wanted to worship the Lord. And Narada Muni was saying to Dhruva Maharaj, meditate on the Supreme Lord continuously and attentively. And then what happens within a week? It was mentioned, Narada Muni, it is mentioned Srimad Bhagavatam. Within a week, you will see that other celestial beings flying in the sky because of you can see them. And this is the power of the mind. So we actually see through the mind actually in a deeper sense. Eyes is just a flesh and things like that, but we are seeing through the mind everything. Senses are so connected to the mind. That's why it's called mind is called sixth sense. Everything is connected to the mind. All the senses are connected to the mind. That's why it touches anything that we taste. It all goes to the mind. Anything which we get goes to the mind. So mind has different stage and different level. And unless that's possible, and we all can overcome the mind because of our mind isn't so what is called disturbed and distracted, and mind creates so many things in our body. So many hormones generate just because of the thoughts of the mind. When we think about the food, all as soon as we get the mouth is watering, and where it's all come from, just the thought of the mind. Mind is so powerful. Mind is so powerful, and with the mind, you know, we can even some people you heard about that samadhi they did. They just left the body thereon because they have such a power for their mind and control the mind, and they can control everything with that power of the mind. And then what happens? They can just leave the body. When we overcome that mind, and then we come really to that spiritual level. That's a transcendental level. Spiritual level means transcendental level. So yeah. I mean,
The desirelessness is isn't desirelessness an artificial state? Desirelessness in this case means material desire,
yeah,
because the soul always has desires. So desirelessness means not to be without desire, but to replace the material desires for sense gratification with spiritual desire for gratifying Krishna's senses.
yeah. I mean, it is Srila Rupa Goswami says this in a book Nectar of Devotion, right? Anya abhilashida shunyam. This is exactly the point. Anya abhilashida shunyam. That means this is the point of this Anya abhilashida. Accept Krishna, accept the spiritual. This is where we are coming to that, the level of Atma or transcendental level or spiritual level. So that's the transcendental level or spiritual level that accept Krishna in our mind. No desires of no material desires. That's what it is. No material desires. That means, I want to become that. I want to become this. I want to control everybody. I want to eat. I want to go there. I want to do this. I want to become, beautiful. I want to become handsome. I want to become so physic. I want to become, manager. I want to become the controller. I want to become the boss. I want to become. See, these are the endless list of our mind. And then it's all come from that egoistic concepts, and anything which changes that, immediately we get agitated. So what is really get agitating? It's a mind is getting agitated, and then everything happens. Some people even go beyond, and sometimes it's upsets. People say that they are upset. Some people have problem. So 90% of the problem in this world because of this mental problems, because of that affects the mind and the senses and the body. So many people are stressed because that they have stress, they cannot eat. They have so many other diseases even generate. Most of the problems because of this stressful situations, mind is not stable. They are so upset. They are so fearful. They are so distracted. They are so disturbed. So many ways we can say that. All because of we are kind of filled with so many things in our mind.
But
So this
even
is what is
without
called
the,
fairness. Yeah.
but even being without these material desires is still an artificial state, because that's what the Brahmavadi does, and he goes and merges into the Brahma Jyoti. But still he falls down because they're temporarily suppressing desires. So even if we kick out with whatever practice and yoga, whatever, we kick out the desire and be quote unquote desireless.
Yeah.
So absence of material desire is also still a dangerous thing. It needs to be the actual
Filled.
person is
Yeah.
desire for Krishna.
Yes, exactly. That's the point. That's what it is in Anyavilashi Dashyanya, Dhyana Karmadi Anavrutam, and devoid of all this. Anukulena Krishnanushilanam. That's the highest stage. Anukulena Krishnanushilanam. So we should all practice that Krishna, bring the Krishna in our mind so that everything will tune to that. Everything will like a king follows, king goes, everybody else follows. Likes that when Krishna, then we put our mind, our body, our senses, all in the service for Krishna. Nothing else, like ego should not come into our mind. Amani, this is how beautiful it is, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned that, right? Pranada Bisunija, don't worry about all this, taller than a tree, humbler than a blade of grass. Amani Nama, don't expect any kind of respect from anybody. Always give respect to others. So everything is connected to this point of bringing everybody. Unless and until we are clinging on any of those things, then we cannot reach to that point of real Krishna consciousness or serve to Krishna. So this is what is the point, right? So we should practice abhyasa yoga yuktena vairagyena javriyate. So Krishna clearly says that vairagya, detachment. It is not that this is the process, right? Desirelessness means detachment from the material and an attachment to Krishna. So vairagya means detachment. Detachment is a part of any of these things. If you are still attached to all these things, and where do we get it? No. So this desirelessness is actually detachment, basically. Detachment from all this material, hankering, material desires. That's detached from it, and then bring Krishna and attach to Krishna. So that's here attachment to Krishna. That's desire. Even Srila Prabhupada says devotees doesn't desire even anything. Even okay, they don't have desire to go to Goloka. They don't have desire to become next to Krishna. They don't have anything. They do have all the desire is actually their attachment to Krishna, their loving devotion to Krishna. That no matter what, whether you put me in water, whether you put me in a fire, whether you put me in a hell, doesn't matter. We don't care. So that's the attitude should be. So that's the real desirelessness means, no any kind of self motive. Okay, I can become next to Krishna. That's the not motive. The motive is pure love for the Krishna, that I would do this. I would engage in the devotion to Krishna. I would practice this for Krishna. Everything for Krishna, not for us. So our hands are for Krishna, our mind is for Krishna, our senses are is for Krishna, our body is for Krishna, everything for Krishna. So this is the real point. So this is what is really that that we are coming to that stage of transcendental platform, and there that actually then we come to the state of as is always says that the nishta is called, that's a stage, nishta, steadiness. Then it's progress further from there, everything on the transcendental plane and platform. Yes, that's very true. I mean, if one who comes to that stage of mind is completely controlled, under the control of whom? Under the control of the spirit soul, under the control of using the intelligence is a media to control the mind, and then come to that state only when we practice. So this is a process. Yes, I mean it's difficult, but it's a process possible. We should come to that state. Yeah.
Any other devotee want to
Yeah.
share their reflection or their understanding or thought process? Please feel free. So we reached on time even.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
I have one devotee, Mataji, and she has a question. She's listening Bhagavad Gita with me for the first time.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Very
She
nice.
has a question, Prabhu. She was listening very nicely and she has a question.
Oh, sure. Please go ahead. You know.
Her name is Urmila.
Hare Krishna, Urmila Mataji, and do pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Urmila is the wife of Lakshman. So Ramanavami is going on. So nice. You are there.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Like you are saying that you should not have any desire. Like, how is it possible for a human being not having a desire?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yes. Wonderful question. See, this is the point we are all, this is the lessons of Bhagavad Gita. This is the point of everything that we come to that state, how we can control our senses, our mind, our desires. So Krishna says that all these desires are temporary. It arises from the sense perception. Krishna says in the 2.15, the verse number, Matras Parshastu Kaundeya, Shitoshna Sugha Dukkada Agama Apayino Anitya Stamsidekshvasa Bharata. It says that this all arises from our senses and the mind, all these desires, material desires. Like, yes, I mean, that is true. As a human, how we can give without desirelessness. So this is nothing but the change in consciousness, Mataji. So when we are so much material conscious, so that means, okay, I want to become a boss. It's kind of a material desire that, I want to control somebody. Or we can say that these are all anarthas when we have, like greed is an anartha. Illusion and enviousness. It's all anartha. This is all come from our this material desires. It's all causes by the material desires and ego and so many things. So Lord gives us what we are bound to get it, what we are deserved to get it. But our problem is because our sorrow, our sadness, our distress is because we are looking more and more and more in our life, right? So desire in such a way that if we are not understanding what is this material desire, then it leads to hell, it leads to distress, and it leads to unhappiness, dissatisfaction, and as Krishna says that, right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the root cause of our suffering is our desires, material desires. That's our root cause of our suffering. And if you are, you know, all our desires to be connected with Krishna or connected with our life should be completely connected with Krishna. Like, since when we are not connected with Krishna, then we don't understand why we are living in this world. So we get so many material literatures and other people, this entire world is around how to satisfy our senses, nothing more than that, and how to satisfy our mind, and mind is on top of it, and it controls and it goes all the directions, and nobody in this world is happy. And I was reading a news in Germany. He was the 54th billionaire in this world. 54th billionaire. One day he committed suicide. He jumped in front of the train. Can you imagine that? Can you buy happiness from the money? Can you buy happiness from our so-called, education? Can we buy happiness from our so-called beauty? Can we buy happiness from whatever you name it in this world? We cannot buy it. People are endeavoring more and more. Krishna says that this is called Asha Pashas Tadir Badhir, the 15th chapter, 16th chapter, I think 16th verse. Asha Pashas Tadir Badhir Kama Krodha Parayana Ihande Kama Bhogartham Anyayarthena Sanchayan. We are just trying to satisfy our lust or unwanted desires in this world. Anya Bhilashi, sorry, Asha Pashas Tadir Badhir. This is called connected to as a rope. Asha, the desires are connected to a rope. It's compare with a rope. That means the moment we have this material desires in this world, we are bound or we are binding ourselves with this material world. Pasha means rope. Stadar Badher, there's so much difficulty. Sadar Badher. Kama Krodha Parayana, with fulfilling our unwanted desires, and then we are getting angry if it is not fulfilled. So people are so much in this illusion that I should satisfy my senses and senses and senses. So this is called rope. So this is binds us with this. And how do they do that? Ihande kama bhogartham. Ihande, in this world, people are, in order to satisfy their unwanted desires, anyayarthena sanjay, and they goes beyond their normal regular dharma, or they go beyond an anya. Anyaya means illegal. And this is what is happening in this world. So what is happening because of all this? This all arises from our senses, our mind, and our all this intelligence or settle, all those things. These are all temporary. They be bound by. Then one point of time, we identify themselves with this mind and senses. That means we feel that we are living in this world just to satisfy this, just to fulfill that. So that's where this question comes: how can a person live without this material desire? So Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, all acharyas, all the scriptures tells us this is the same point. That is exactly the point. That means you are bound, we are attached to this material world, we are bound into this material world, and we are, because of that attachment, we are suffering. And all this desires is like a, scripture says that how we add fuel to the fire. How we add fuel to the fire. And then we add more fuel to the fire, it's actually it burns a lot, right? It burns more and more. So then the question is that how we can live without a desire. Yes, very good question, and that's exactly the point of it. So how we can live without a desire means we have to have this consciousness of understanding and the knowledge that what is this all about, this temporary flickering happiness. First of all, this is just a sense, just flickering happiness, just chapala sukha. Bhagavatam mentioned this is called chapala sukha, means very flickering happiness, just for momentarily. Like just for an example, we are all getting this desire, something we got it, and it's called bhoga tyaga. Another word Bhagavatam uses called bhoga tyaga. We are so endeavor for to get something, and as soon as we get it, then we don't have any more value for that. For an example, you eat a very delicious, food like rasagula, whatever it is. You eat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then usually, gradually, you reduce the taste of it. And one point of time, you will omit for that. This is the nature of this, called temporary material nature, or dukkhalem ashashwadam. It's temporary. So, but we don't understand this. When we don't understand this and we identify ourselves with this material world, we identify ourselves with this mind and the senses and the body, then it all arises. But the moment we understand that we are also part of that supreme, that's a spirit, that's beyond this body, mind, intelligence, and senses, we are nothing but the spirit soul, or the part and parcel of that supreme potency. So our entire purpose of the life, or the meaning of the life, to realize this Atma Sakshatkar, or realize this, that we are the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. The senses came from the Supreme Lord. The mind is generated from the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is the remembrance. Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto madagasmadir jnanam abohanam cha. From me remembrance come, from me knowledge come, from me I am providing everything to everyone. But they forget me. They forget this one aspect of it. When they forget, they have to go through subject of this happiness and distress. This is called dualities of in this world. There is pain and the pleasure. There is happiness and there is distress. There is heat and cold. There is summer and winter. This all comes and go. But the spirit soul is pure and is completely spiritual, and he is the eternal part of that supreme. He is the absolute truth, and he is the only eternal truth. Everything is temporary. So how we can then desire less? So this is a shift of consciousness. Understand this, that yes, I am a spirit soul. I am part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. My duty, my param dharma, or my eternal duty or dharma is to dharmastu sakshal bhagavat pranidam, to understand that this entire cosmic creation is manifested from that Supreme Lord. And my eternal duty is to unite in yoga to conscious of that supreme and connect my body and senses and mind, everything to that supreme Lord. And he has thousands of eyes, he has thousands of heads, thousands of bellies, thousands of mouths, thousands of hands, and this entire chapter is that one. So then when we understand this, then we slowly put our consciousness in Krishna, or what is called Krishna consciousness. So that means when we do something, okay, now I have a family. So, okay, so I have a desire to bring those children and family into the Krishna consciousness. So there is a shift in our consciousness. Okay, instead of telling our children go and play games, or go and do this one and go and do that one, and okay, you get this money, you go to the party, here is a ticket for the movie, here is this one for enjoy yourself, here is a BMW car, here is the most diamond bedecked, the cell phones. Yes, we all need to fulfill our need, but we are talking about the greed here in this world. So Krishna, when we have, yes, we all have a desire that to get married, or we get a desire to get a family. So what is actually then shift of consciousness is, I need to bring a nice family for Krishna. I need to bring a nice family for the society. This is the real or in the mode of goodness or sattva guna, or then we transcend. When Krishna bring into the Lord, we bring into our life, then it will become Shuddha Sattva, or it will all become, completely transcendental. Like that. We have so many things in the world, it's all like zero if Krishna is not there. But if you put one in front of those zeros, it become a huge value. So like that, if Krishna is not there, everything become like a void and null, like a shunya there is in everything. So, but Krishna is there in our life. And if you have this consciousness that I do this for my Supreme Lord, anything I do, like this desire, okay, I want to, become a, somehow or other, anyaya, some illegally, I want to overpower somebody, I want to control somebody, I want to become that, I want to become this. Okay, let me get me, oh Lord, give me $1 million lottery. Give me this big house because of neighbor has a big house. Give me that house. Oh Lord, give me that neighbor bought a Tesla. Now I need to buy a Tesla. These are all anyaya or unwanted desires of the life. But Krishna gave us, he gave us a family. We are thankful. We should be grateful for that, Krishna. So then we say that Krishna, I'm so grateful that how can I repay you? Krishna gives us so much of foodstuff every day that we are living with, and we should be grateful that Krishna is providing us everything. Krishna is providing us a car, Krishna is providing us a house, Krishna is providing us family, husband, wife, Krishna is providing us children, Krishna is providing us money and the job. Do you think that even a moment of the breath that we can create ourselves? We cannot create anything. So all this is a shift of consciousness and understanding that who I am first of all, and we are eternally part and parcel of the Supreme. So when we put this one, then everybody, there are so many wonderful devotees, so many sannyasis. What is their desire actually? To serve. Srila Prabhupada at 69 years old. When Srila Prabhupada left the home just to serve the Guru and sannyasi, and Srila Prabhupada came to this, united single-handedly. And all the desires is to propagate this Krishna conscious, these good things. So like that, our life can be dovetailed. and then controlled, and Krishna's focus or Krishna is in the center of our life, then what we can do, then we can transform. This is called transformation. Or we can dovetail, we can convert all our unwanted desires to the service, right, to the service of, I think somebody is okay, service of Krishna. All our desires, like every shift of, it's only the main thing is shift of our consciousness, understanding that we are here in this world because of our unwanted desires and attachment to this material world. So we are taking this birth again and again because to fulfill that desire. That's why we are taking birth. So when there is a point that, oh Lord, my desire is your desire. Okay, I have a child. Okay, that's my desire is to bring that child to a Krishna conscious stage. I have a work. Okay, I will go to the work. I will make the money for you, Lord. That I will, but I don't utilize that money for my personal sense gratification. See that personal sense gratification. When I utilize anything that for my sense gratification, that's what is we are again is going against. Yes, we have desire. Okay, I should serve the devotees. I should use my home for the purpose of Lord. I should myself is the servant. I am the part of parcel of the Lord. So I should be first of all to be part of that. I should serve the Lord. That's the first and foremost thing. So when we buy the groceries and cook the food, first we offer to the Lord because of Lord gives us everything. Lord gives us this body. Lord gives us this healthy body. And we should remember all these things. And instead of putting ourselves in the center, when we put Krishna is in the center, then we can completely free from of our sensual or selfish desire. Then everything can be dovetailed for the service of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. This way, we can free from our material desire. At the same time, do not worry, because Krishna says that I would protect you, I would carry what you have, and I would give what you lack. So this is Krishna. Krishna will take care of. Krishna says that Sarva Dharman Parityajyam. See the point Lord says? Sarva Dharman Parityajyam Mam Egam Sharanam Raja Aham Tam Sarva Bhabebhyo Mokshayikshami Mam Sujaha. So always what happens? We forget that Supreme Lord. We always remember ourselves. That's our root problem. But the moment, every time we remember Krishna in every endeavor, every ordeal, every activities of in our life, that Krishna, then this is wonderful, and that completely, and then Krishna will take care of us. Krishna will protect, Krishna will give whatever is needed. That's why Krishna will always satisfy the need, but Krishna will never, and Krishna, the greed is actually our main problem. And the main thing is actually we try to think about others, other than others, what others are. That's our main consciousness actually. We are even not self-conscious. We are all other consciousness, like, oh, he has a car, he has a bike, I need to buy that, I need to become beautiful, I need to become like that, and this is all self-centric life. But rather than, yes, oh Lord, I am yours. Please direct me. Please put me in such a way that I can be happy. And dear devotees, I mean, Mataji, that question is wonderful. And the moment we come to that state, that's the most happiest moment in this world. All the happiness. Sometimes people think that without desire, how I'll become happy. But this is a wrong kind of side of it. The moment we come and fix yourself, and happiness is actually within. Happiness is not outside. Happiness cannot be buy with any means of in this world. Happiness is always within us, and the bliss is within us. The knowledge is within us. So we should put ourselves in such a way that then everything will be, will go accordingly. Sometimes we think that if I don't do this one, how this world will go. Right? That's all self-centric activities. This doesn't help. So the moment, so this is what is, we have to be understand first that the Atma Sakshatkar, and then Krishna in the center of our all activities of our life. Then everything will be very beautiful and wonderful, and Krishna will provide you that the needs of everything, and then that's what it is. And so many people can give the example of it. I hope that it was a little long Mataji, but I hope it was.
Yeah,
It
thank
will answer you.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
You clear that the point that how where we are missing the point, where we are disconnecting?
Yeah.
Because we so much put ourselves in this world, and we are suffering in this world because of that. That is those, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, true. I'm saying, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, all we need is actually, yes, have this consciousness of the Supreme, because of we are part eternally, part of that Supreme. That's why we talk, we move, we hear, we do so many things. We thinking and willing, and and doing the activities, feeling, and everything is actually because of that soul exists in us. But we don't identify, we don't realize that. But we identify with this world, our desires, our material, mind, body, and all. I mean, how long this body will survive like that? And when we will be fulfill our desires? This one poet says that when we get 10, then we endeavor for 100. The moment we get 100, that we will not satisfy, and we will, endeavor for 1,000. Then when we get 1,000, we'll not satisfy again. Then we'll go for 10,000. We never satisfy. That's why competition, arrogance, all comes from that. So this way, this world is bound and so many problems because of this unwanted, selfish desires. That's the topic here. So, but if we dovetail, transform that all to in Krishna, in the there is a beautiful story that when we offer the bhoga to the Lord, we are offering the senses of the Lord rather than our senses. We go to a temple and look at the Lord, and with that consciousness, oh Lord, I brought something for you. I came before you to see you. And many times we spend our daytime and movies and that party, then this club and that club and this ones and this birthday, that birthday, and everything. Yes, we are social animals, first of all. Yes, we have to, oblige certain situations. But that is for, even if that's for, yes, for the good things, for good purpose. So if I go there and, yes, be to my presence, and, then if I can be there and as an ambassador for the spiritual. So this is where we come to that point of our goodness, the sattva guna. We come to that good, pure good and goodness in every aspect of it. Then when we bring Krishna into that, that'll become transcendental or shuddha sattva, or pure goodness. So we are bound to live in this world with this pure goodness. Only by Krishna conscious one can come to that pure goodness, shuddha sattva. So Lord, without Lord's mercy, without devotee's mercy, it's also difficult to come to that state. That's why, he listen and hear and the chant and engage in the devotional service with this single point attention that, yes, I am here in this world because of Krishna. So my duty, my eternal dharma, my obligation is actually to remember and realize and work for that Supreme Lord. Then Lord will take care of everything. And there is no doubt into that. So that's our, that's the essence of everything, that come out from the clutches of the senses and unwanted senses, come out from the clutches of this mental bondage and the bindings, and then body works accordingly. Rather than if we just utilize the body, that, unwanted things like, people are so much sinful in this world. They kill the innocent animals and they eat. They just to satisfy the tongue. And initially and all, people just started to eat the meat. Now they are trying everything, all the animals they are trying to eat. And I was reading a news in China, it's every corner there's a meat market. It's very ridiculous, and everybody trying. This is the problem of this, our desires. It won't stop in any point of time. And then we are always in distress, we are not happy. We're always in distress. And even if we say we are happy in this world, that is just a dilemma. Happiness is defined a temporary relief between two distress conditions. That is just temporary relief from two distress condition, or the in between. something like it's all relative, right? Somebody's happiness is not same as my happiness. It's all relative. So this all temporary world, temporary nature of all these things doesn't make you happy, but the moment we do something good for others, that makes you happy better than what you get. I mean, I heard this many times, many from the many people. When you give something to as a child, something that you give to others selflessly, you get more bliss and happiness than when you get something from others. This is the nature, and this is the nature of the soul. So this is that soul is very much, it's the nature of the soul is Satchidananda. He is eternal, he is full of bliss, full of happiness. So we don't need to externally look for anything. Happiness is within. If we have the bliss, really the thing is that we have to dovetail and control and practice, and by this way then gradually we get that happiness in our heart, and that will flourish those happiness. Ananda Ambudhi is called ocean of bliss that is within us, and if we stay away from all the unwanted things, that's what it is. Murdanda Prabhu, would you like to add something to the wonderful question?
Oh, Prabhu, you explained it very well. Thanks. Thanks to Mataji also. I only had one question. Is Richa
Mataji,
is Richa Mataji related to Janki Mataji? They sound alike.
yes, we are alike. We are the same people. That's my legal name.
I see. That's your legal name. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
So,
You asked such nice
Prabhu,
questions and very
Prabhu,
nice seva. You were
Wonderful.
okay,
really
you
asking your
know,
questions.
Urmila Mataji is so inspired. She wants to go for classes and maybe
Yeah,
certain
join the
events.
morning Bhagavatam class.
Yeah.
Now it is 8:30, 6:30
I'm
in
in,
about 12
I'm,
hours.
I'm
10
actually
hours.
traveling to another state and city, Prabhu. So I'll get her introduced. I know devotees here, so she's very happy right now and smiling.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
please join morning programs.
Even if,
Bhagavatam class 6:30. It's half
Yeah,
an hour. And evening, Simeshwar Prabhu does Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you,
yeah.
Mataji, for your services. And
keep in touch. Actually, give the contact details. Janagi Mataji, we'll add you in our the communication, and so you get the details of everything. And it's always good to have. That's it says that satsangatve nisangatvam. This is a wonderful point. Shankaracharya brought this on. Satsangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivan mukti. So, and this is called, Krishna is telling to Arjuna that this is called study of intelligence, tada pragya, study of mind, is all happening where? From the wonderful association, that satsang. Satsangatve nisangatvam. Nisangatvam means this, we are not, so that way we will less interest into this material world. Nisangasa means less interest, and we less attached to this material world. Nisangatve nirmohatum. This is the word nirmoha. That means the stage of that the unwanted desirelessness. That means from coming out from this unwanted desirelessness. That's called nirmoha. Moha means illusion, or that's all. This is because of our illusion. That means we don't know what is what. So the best point that our scriptures, our acharyas gives this, that's why says that asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya. We are all in darkness, we are all in illusion. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya, where the pray, this is the Upanishads pray. Actually it says that mrityorma amrudam. This is the way only that we can become amrudam gamaya. That means we can attain our original spiritual constitution. Otherwise it's not possible. So all this start from wonderful association of the devotees, and reading. The association is not just physical association. Hearing is an association with the Supreme Lord. Hearing Bhagavad Katha is association with the Supreme Lord and the devotee and Bhagavata, Bhagavan and Bhagavat. And hearing, reading the book, spiritual books, is an association with the Supreme Lord and the author. And that these are called satsang actually. Hearing and association and singing, it's all satsang. It's all satsang. Seeing the Lord, darshan, everything is satsang. So it's all start from that satsang. And nirmohatve nischala tattvam. This is where we are discussing all these moments come to that steadiness, that unwanted, we came out of it. Nischala tattvam. And that's the ultimatum of everything. So this is beautiful and this is wonderful. All we need to do is just, focus that and always remember this. And Srila Prabhupada says that the best way, always remember Krishna because he is in everything, he is everywhere, and we can see him. Always remember Krishna and never forget him, because of that's our root cause of our problem. Ignorance. Root cause of our suffering is ignorance. Root cause of our suffering is forgetting that Supreme, he is the creator of everything. Root cause of our problem is actually we are unwanted desires. Root cause, I mean, the endless list of it, and you can connect each and everything in our life where we are become unhappy in this world. Yeah, yeah, wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhu. And Amritanand, thank you for identifying.
Yeah, we don't know that.
I was taken aback. I was like, okay, maybe nobody will understand.
Mataji, you're expanding.
I know.
Expansion.
Urmila Mataji is actually saying that, when in association, she feels that change in her. When I go away, she's like, oh, when you go away, then it goes away. When you are here, it is always so happy and divine.
Yep. Yeah.
No, I will not leave her now. I'll keep her in good association only.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why
Yeah.
please join. Wherever you are, there are devotees all over the world. That's the mercy of the Lord. Devotees are representing the Lord in this world in order to propagate this wonderful, wonderful transcendental knowledge. So without this knowledge, it's difficult. So try to join, try to associate, so we all get this realizations, and then we can connect this way. And yep. Thank you so much. So nice, so wonderful. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? Is your- okay. So if there is nothing else, then let's conclude. Go ahead. Go ahead, Project. Yeah. Jagadish Simha Prabhu, go ahead. You were trying to say something.
No, bro, I'm not saying. I'm saying that if you have any questions, we can conclude it or.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. If there is no questions, anybody else has anything? Okay. Okay. So let's then conclude today's session. Vancha kalpatarubhashya.
Kalpatarubhyascha
Kripa
kripa
sindhubhyeva cha paridanam pavanebhyo.
Vaishnavi
Yo namo namaha. Vaishnavam. Yeah. Dhanyavad Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
Bhagavad
Jai Prabhupada.
Gaura Premanande Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Jagadish Simha Prabhu.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody.
All
Hare
bro,
Krishna.
listening me. I don't know what I said.
No. It was perfect. Wonderful. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Let's go. Hare.